Aloha, it's Myrra, and I'm here with my special guest, Kelsey. We're going to talk a little bit about advanced contouring today, but first I want to introduce my girl, Kelsey. Kelsey and I met when I moved to Oahu almost a year ago. Can you believe I've lived here for almost a year? Wow. We met in a women's networking group. We became fast friends, and Kelsey has a really interesting business that she does called Brain Balance Hawaii, and it's all about neuro coaching, which is one of the things I'm nerdy about. If you know anything about me, you know I'm very much into things that are focused on changing your state of mind. And so Kelsey is really good at makeup, at contouring. She's a little bit younger than I am, so she's in a different moment than I am. And as someone who's been in the beauty business for 25 years and focuses more on the sales and people management side sometimes I miss the trend. So she's here to show us some of her really special advanced contouring things. Kelsey, take it away. Tell us about you.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Kelsey. I am a brain trainer and the owner of Brain Balance Hawaii. So my business is to help support people of all ages in moving from stress and self-doubt to calm, clarity, and confidence. I use a holistic approach and gentle brain wellness tools to nurture emotional balance, self-trust, and also self-love. So the system I use is called Neuroptimal, and it is a gentle neurofeedback tool that helps the brain move away from discomfort and break out of any patterns that are keeping you stuck. For example, a lot of people have, different responses to stress, and people get triggered in different ways, and sometimes that can really affect how they live their everyday life. Maybe you don't sleep very well, or you're just always stressed, you're always anxious, or you have a hard time just learning new things, focusing, and your relationships in your life struggle. So if that sounds like you or sounds like somebody you know, then you might benefit from brain training. And I'm here to support you. I'm here to help you on your journey of self-love and also improving your brain function.
Awesome. And Richard and I have benefited so much from working with Kelsey. As most of you know, if you know me, you know that this move has been a little hard on me. Not just in fact, the across the ocean part hasn't been that bad. It was the from the condo to the rental house part that's really been a lot. And Kelsey's tools and her visits and have been really important. She comes out to our house. we usually get to hang out and have dinner and talk story about a lot of different things. So I'm really excited. Kelsey, what are you? I know we are talking about advanced contouring. Sorry, I had a brain fart there for a minute. Everett's standing right over here, and he's looking at me. And let's see. So tell us a little bit about makeup, for your makeup journey, when you started wearing makeup, how you became interested in contour and in some things that are a little bit more than the basic face.
I've been doing makeup for a long time, since I was in high school. I wouldn't say I was good at that point, but that's when I started. I think I was just influenced by like seeing people on TV and like being interested in kind of like fashion and magazines and stuff, and I always wanted to like try the looks, and I didn't really have the tools at that time, so I kind of just like take my mom's makeup and just do whatever, which was like contour. That was not my
It's a great way that we all learned, stealing mom's makeup, learning in the bathroom in 8th grade.
Yes, so that's where I started, and then as I got older, you know, like YouTube became a thing, which was like, it kind of aligned perfectly, because makeup tutorials were one of the first things that were on YouTube and they became popular. So I kind of started watching those and learning from that. And, you know, like here I am now, just kind of experimenting, seeing what works for me.
You're about to become your own YouTube tutorial. Woohoo! Now, do you want any of these, the slides that I have with the different kinds of contour on it?
Yeah, if you have a slide about just like general contour, that would be great.
Let's add, we're gonna go and shout out to Lisa Bitts and Exactly, who is my virtual assistant, my virtual business manager who made these for me. And I am going to, let's see if I can figure out how to make you this solo person with the presentation. No, I can't figure that out. So, let me see. Okay, we're both here. This is what we got.
Okay.
All right. That's fine. So we've got what contour is for. It's to enhance, define, slim, live correct, and it's customizable. And when it's right, it makes it look like it's just playing with light and shadow. So we've got some basic face shapes here: oval, round, square, heart, long. And that's it. Okay. Which one do you feel like you're, I mean, everyone's a hybrid, but what is your natural face shape most like?
I think I'm somewhere between like oval and square.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So we've got oval, which is the one, it's the regular one. It's the one that most people are going to probably do. And then we've got, and then you're more square. And so that makes a lot of sense. Although, are you more square or are you more heart? See, I look at your face.
I'm kind of in between all three.
Right. You're all of it. Well, that would make sense why, because the square has lots of contour points, and the heart. But of course, these don't go into at all anything about noses. Basically, all of these models, because these are all from Mary Kay's makeup application tools, they don't have anything about noses and any of the advanced eye areas. So that's really, I think, where I'm excited to learn that from you today. So I'm going to put you on solo layout so that we can really watch what you're doing.
Okay. So I don't always contour. It kind of depends on the look and how I feel and how much effort I want to put in my makeup that day. But if I'm going to do a look that's really contour heavy, I would usually start off by using something like this, which is the e.l.f. like Halo Glow contour. I use this one because I have, yes, it's a liquid. It's more of a neutral tone. So let me try and just swatch it. I don't know if you can really see it on my hand, but it's pretty neutral / cool tone because we want to emphasize the shadows of the face. If you've heard of bronzer, that's usually more like warmer tone,
Right.
and that's to kind of
Bronze
add more
usually
color
has,
to your face.
yeah, that has more gold undertones, golds and pinks
Mhm.
in it, where this is more purple.
Right. So what we're doing with contour, at least what I do with contour, is try to emphasize the natural shadows of the face. And again, you can do it depending on what kind of look you want. Um, I don't have like a super flat face. I would say I have pretty big cheeks because my cheekbone is kind of down here. Um, I've tried to like give the illusion that it's up here, but you can't really cheat the natural
Right.
contours of your face, so I've kind of just
Exactly.
accepted.
You want to stick with like well, if you do too much, then it's and that's probably more work than most of us are going to go in for, even for a special occasion.
That's true. And also it might look good in some lightings, but in other lightings, like you will be able to just see the natural
Right.
shadow of your face. Like for example, like right here, you can tell like the contour is right here.
Yeah,
And I can't
exactly.
do anything
Yes.
about that. That's just my bone structure.
Right.
Same with my nose. I don't have a straight nose, if you can tell. So I like to contour and kind of change the shape of my nose that way.
Right.
Because I don't want to get a nose job. So this is like my way of doing that with makeup.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm gonna just start off by putting some contour here. Like I'm just following the natural shape of my face.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I did not do a good job there. I
Wow.
always put it on
Even
the bottom
that
of my
is
nose.
that's huge right there. Just that little bit made a huge difference. That's what I love so much about contour and highlight. Now I'm looking at my bone structure and I'm thinking about whether or not I need to put it in there.
Contour
Hang
no.
on, wrong thing. Okay.
I put mine under my nose. A lot of people do, but I do especially because I want to make my nose look shorter.
Great.
I also
Can I just say that I think you're a gorgeous person and I love everything about your face. Just like you're empirically pleasing to look at.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I am following again my natural contour and just going a little above it.
Okay, so I'm doing powder because liquid takes a little bit more practice. Yes. Powder is a little bit more forgiving. And if you're not experienced, powder will make it so that you can fix your face back up in 10 minutes.
Okay. So I'm just gonna also put some under here to just give myself a shadow.
Yes.
Again, we're gonna blend it out. I know it looks crazy, but
my kid Charlie always teases me about what a short neck I have, and it is so true. I did a little bit when I got ready earlier, but yeah, a little bit of powder contour is gonna make a night and day.
You can also put, like I sometimes put here, which is where your sternocleidomastoid, I believe, muscles.
Say that again.
Connect.
What kind of muscles?
Let me just Google and make sure I'm saying it right. Sternocleidomastoid. It's the muscles that connect from the back of your neck to your clavicle.
Interesting.
So you can just give yourself a bit more definition in your neck if you want to.
Okay.
And that's
you want to make sure that you hit the right spot so it's not random. Okay.
And just make it blend so that it doesn't look like you only have a bunch of things going on here and nothing on your neck.
Wow.
Or nothing beyond that. Like sometimes depending on how much makeup you put, the difference can be stark and very obvious. Yeah. So we don't want that.
Well, the biggest thing I'm guilty of is it looks all great from like right on, face on, and then like you turn sideways and there's like a big dirty spot right there.
Yeah, so make sure you blend. I'm just using a brush. Not a brush. Oh my god. I'm using a blender. I use a wet one.
Yeah.
I use a wet one. I don't really like using brushes for myself. But that's because
you definitely want wet blender sponges.
Yes. I just prefer it for anything, like applying my foundation, which I already have on, by the way. This is not my skin.
What? You're not perfect?
Absolutely not. So yeah, we're just gonna blend it out and make sure it's really like blended in. I blend downwards for this because I don't really want it up here. Like I'm trying to emphasize the jawline and just give it more definition. So that's why I'm blending down. No, I don't really blend that much, but it just disappears.
Now, are you adding a little bit of that on your nose right now?
Yeah. I go over with powder, honestly.
Now, for my nose, what would you do for my nose? Because my nose is really different from yours. It's
depends what you want, I guess.
Straight, but it's large.
So it depends what you want, I guess. What are you trying to achieve with your nose?
I don't know. That's the thing. I just don't know. So that's
like, do you want it to be slimmer? Do you want to just emphasize the natural, like, shape of your nose? Depends what you
I'm really happy with my looks as a whole. I mean, I look in the mirror and I see my father when I look at my nose, but that's not a bad thing. He was a very attractive man.
Okay, so if you wanted to just emphasize what you already have, I would just kind of put some contour below.
I'll do a little highlighter in the middle, but I don't know if that's the right thing. Is it maybe I should do, because what I've generally taught is like contour recedes away and highlighter brings it forward. So like what, like this?
Yeah, so anything like you want to bring to the back, you would want to contour. Anything you want to bring forward, you would highlight. That's why people tend to highlight the bridge of their nose. And like if you have a straight nose, you can literally just put the highlighter straight down. I do not have a straight nose, so I don't highlight my nose that way. Because I have a bump. So if I just went straight down, the natural shadow of my nose would make it look strange.
Then you would see that, and that would defeat what you're doing.
Yes. So I also don't always like the shape of my nose, so I put contour here to kind of break up the natural shape of my nose.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes. Like a lot of girls do it that already have straight noses or like noses that slope upwards more like yours to just emphasize it. But for me, I'm trying to give a different illusion.
No, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense that you would do it.
Yeah. Because for me, the middle part of my nose goes out, sticks out the most. And this part is furthest back. So what I'm trying to do is make this part go back and make this part go out, so it looks more straight.
Right, got it.
More,
so that it's basically inverting the shape, the curve that's in your nose, almost.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Yes. All right.
And then I just blend it out. Okay, so that's the contour part. Then I would go in with like bronzer to give myself more like dimension to the contour. So I'm not going to necessarily put it everywhere, and I'm not well, I guess you could if you wanted to, but
well, that's a very 90s moment where you're just like, just hit it all over, just go to town. Right. I mean, and that's
I'm mostly going to
the whole thing.
True. I'm mostly going to put it to give myself dimension, so I'm actually going to put it above the contour on my cheeks.
Well, and I love a multi-step cheek moment. I mean, that is the part of the 90s that I took away with the vengeance. Was all the cheeks. I'm loving that blush is back.
Yes,
everywhere.
I'm gonna put some here, and I'm also gonna put some in my.
Okay, and that's interesting because that has more of a shimmer as opposed to the contour is a matte and it's a flat. In the Home Depot analogy, that's a highlighting or a. Gosh, now I can't even remember what I'm talking about. It's an accent paint.
Yes. Well, I guess it depends what kind of bronzer you get. Mine doesn't have shimmer on it because I don't want shimmer. But if you could get bronzer with shimmer if you wanted that.
Flat. Even with a not shimmery bronzer, it's still less flat than the contour. It's definitely a more matte, flat experience.
Yes. So I'm like giving my cheeks more dimension and like color. The contour is down here again, just
Great.
emphasizing the shadow.
Mm-hmm.
And then same with my forehead. I don't know, I don't really care too much about my forehead. I don't really have a big forehead, so I don't
Great.
put much on my forehead.
Great.
Because then if I make my forehead too small, then it like really messes
Great.
up the balance of my face.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm gonna continue to do that on my nose.
Okay.
And then,
so we're here in Mental Health Awareness Month, and I'd love to, while you're blushing and things like that, tell a little bit about your story about how you came to own Brain Balance and your journey. I'd love to hear more about that and share that.
yeah, so I started off as a client. I've been dealing with anxiety for like over 8 years, I would say, for a long time. And when I first started, I only went to therapy. I did not know what brain training was. I barely knew what therapy was when I started, honestly. I was like, I just need help. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to deal with this by myself. I'm just gonna go over with powder to set everything
Okay.
because I don't want anything else to move. I don't want to put anything else over. If you are gonna go over with any more wet products, I would recommend doing that all before you do powder, not going over it until you're done. But yeah. I started going to therapy like 8 years ago, and I think I'd reached a plateau in it where I wasn't really benefiting from it anymore, but I still had anxiety and I still had some depression. And I had a lot of anxiety around like flying. And I had been in therapy and talked about it with my therapist multiple times, and it, like it helped, but I didn't actually feel like it had been like the issue had been resolved. Like I would like have to talk to my therapist about it, and then I would go on the flight, and it would, I'd still need like Xanax to get through the flight. Like it's not that the anxiety like being caused by actually flying was gone. So I felt like I just wasn't getting to the root of the problem there.
Well, and don't you kind of feel like neuro tools, they just help because there's only a certain point that you can go to in your conscious mind. And then you have to use something to shift your subconscious. And that's really, I feel like for me, that's where the brain training and the neuro tools really come in, is they help shift the subconscious.
Right.
Which is always running in the background.
Yes. So I don't think I realized that was the issue at the time. I was just like, well, I'm not like getting what I need from therapy. But luckily my therapist had actually started using Neuroptimal in her practice. And she was like, oh, you should just try this out. She didn't really explain to me what it was. I was like, at this point, I had been with her for like 7 years. So I was like, okay, sure, why not? Like, I trust you,
Well, and I think there really isn't, like, there's, neuro tools are so new, and the study, I mean, like how they work is a relatively new part of psychology. I mean, I think even less than 20 years old. So it is really hard, probably even for clinicians, to explain. Okay, what color blush are we doing?
So I'm doing contour first. Okay. I'm just going over with powder. Don't mind
got
broken one. Okay. I'm just using like the lighter ones.
The one that is dead because I use it every day.
I literally do. So that one is, I'm using mostly these two. And I'm just going over where I put bronzer to kind of give myself more color and definition. And yeah, so I started using it. I didn't really do it consistently to start because it was in person. So it was whenever I could get into the office, which was once or twice a month in the beginning. And it wasn't really being, like my progress wasn't really being tracked. So it was kind of just things that I had noticed. And the first thing I had noticed was actually, I had been afraid to go to the gym for a very long time because, especially if you're a woman, you probably understand, like there's a lot of anxiety around going to somewhere where there's like a lot of men who, like religiously go to the gym, who like know what they're doing. and there's a lot of fear and embarrassment around like maybe I'm not going to do something right, maybe I'm going to look stupid, and maybe I'm not going to feel like I belong here because I don't know how to lift the weights, and I don't know how to use the machines, and I don't want to look dumb.
Right. And then the
So
very real fear of, being physically attacked or,
yeah,
there's
or
all
like
kinds
hit
of,
on or
yeah,
something,
right,
something
assaulted in
happening.
some way. Yeah.
Yeah,
Something that would make you
exactly.
uncomfortable. So,
Right. So that had been the reason I didn't go to the gym for a long time, even though I wanted to, get into weightlifting because the 15, 10-pound dumbbells at home were not cutting it anymore.
well, weightlifting is, oh gosh, it's so good for your core mobility and just
Hmm.
like your overall health and well-being. Like that's really where it's at for long-term fitness is weightlifting.
Yeah, it's good for your bone strength as you get older as well. And it just has a lot of health benefits in general.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but like I just couldn't get over that fear of
Mm-hmm.
being judged and looking dumb until I started brain training, and then I
Yeah. What
went.
year was this for you, like that you started doing brain training?
It was in 2023.
Okay. So this is fairly recent for you.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that. And then from there you were a client and then you bought the business or you bought
Yeah, so I
the
bought
system.
machines
Okay.
after I don't remember how long. I think I had done it for like 6 months or so. And I noticed I wasn't like overthinking as much. I wasn't feeling anxious as much. And then I was also going to the gym more regularly, which is something I'd not done for my whole life.
Right.
And yeah, I bought machines because I wanted to help people in the same way that it helped me. And here I am now.
And here you are. Awesome. That's so amazing. What are your goals in your business right now?
I think my main goal is just to reach out to more people. I think it's something that is hard for people to understand, especially like if they haven't ever gone to therapy or really thought about their mental health in that way. Like I think for a lot of people, even just going to therapy is a really big first step. You know what I
Right.
mean? And that is something that is pretty widely known with everybody. Like everybody kind of understands like the general like concept of therapy and
Mm-hmm.
its purpose, right? But I don't think a lot of people have heard of neurofeedback in general, and let alone Neurooptimal, which is a wellness device. It's not the medical form of neurofeedback.
Got it.
So unlike medication, it doesn't force your brain to change, which is something that I love about it. It just works
Right.
with your brain so that your brain can make its own changes. And that means
Right.
there's no side effects, and it is more gentle.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you've ever taken medication, or if you've done medical neurofeedback, like linear neurofeedback is what it's called, then you know that there are potential side effects and you never really know what's going to happen.
Got it.
And you don't know how that's going to affect your life. And so I was always looking for something that was more like holistic and
Definitely.
natural, rather than something that is like a medication.
Okay. Agreed. Yeah, it's always better to do something natural first if that can work. If that
Mm-hmm.
if that can support what you're doing medically. So as we
Mm-hmm.
wrap up, tell us what are we gonna do for blush? I'm
Yeah.
on my tippy toes over here.
I'm gonna use this Dior blush that I have.
Which color is it? What color is it?
It is this pink.
Ooh, peachy.
Corally pink.
I
Yeah.
love it.
I don't really like subtle blush.
Subtle. No.
Not subtle. I'm not a
That's
very
what I like about
subtle
you is
person.
that you're bold. Even though
Yeah.
you do have all black handbags. We were teasing you about that a while ago. It's like all black,
We'll have
all
color
really
at
all
some point.
classic accessories. You know what though? It's a good thing. It's a good way to start your collection. Okay, I'm
Yes,
using a
we'll
cream one
get
because
your
I got a
original.
cream one in that color, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of the desert blossom. Ah, yes. Now I'm blushed. I'm so blushed. We're just ready. And where are we going? We don't know.
We're going to eat dinner.
Right.
That's
It's
what
gonna
I'm
look
gonna
so
do.
good for dinner. going to be amazing.
So I
Okay.
usually do a couple other things, but that's just me. As you can tell, we have very different eye shapes.
Tell us about what else you got.
So I use my same bronzer contour. Every time I show it, I'm like, don't look at this one.
Don't look at that.
Don't look at it. But
it just means
because I have smaller eyes. Yes, because I have smaller eyes, I like to do what a lot of Asian people do, which is like emphasize this area here.
Interesting.
To give more shape and dimension to the eyes. And like to...
And you're doing that with a lighter powder?
Yeah, so I'm kind of using these first, and then I kind of go in with the darker one just once I have the basic shape. And again, I like squint my eyes so you can already see where I'm trying to bring more.
Okay. Yeah, that's not where because that would be like where my dark circles naturally are because of my face shape.
Right.
So, okay.
Yes. In Korean, it's like called the aegyeosal, which is like the little bag under the eye, which is, I think it's more popular for Asian people.
No, it definitely is. Yeah,
usually
I got that naturally. I got it naturally.
Yeah. Because like it makes my eye area look.
Well, and you're absolutely right, because of more of a flat eyelid, it helps to give a little bit more definition there.
Right. And again, it depends. Like if I was going for a more like sleek look, maybe I wouldn't do this. But I'm gonna go use this highlighter palette. And this one broke. All my makeup is breaking.
Well, I know someone who can help you with that.
I love this palette though, and it's like, well, I'm gonna use it till they all break, I guess.
Right. Absolutely.
But I go in with like a small brush and I just take the highlighter and I put it in the middle because we're trying to bring out that area.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And then same on the other side. This is just how I like to do my makeup.
It's so weird to do your makeup on camera, right? Because you have to totally change the way that you hold your palette.
I think I put too much. Yeah, I also put some like in the inner corner because my eyes are not as like long, so I'm trying to bring more.
Well, and I definitely, in fact, I do lighter all the way up on my sinus area because it's discolored there all the time. So I usually start with a little under eye corrector underneath it, and then I go all the way like this, because I also have a deep set, close set eye. Ta-da!
And then the last step for me anyway is just to put highlighter on the nose, because again, I'm trying to change my nose shape with makeup and highlight different areas.
You're so pretty.
Thank you. But yes, we are trying to transform ourselves with makeup. So,
well, and that's, but I think that, makeup helps you to present yourself the way that the way you see yourself in your mind's eye, which for me then makes me feel like my most authentic self, and really helps with, that's going to just help with when you know you look great, you never think about it. And when you're not sure how you look, you spend all your time trying to catch your reflection to see how it's going.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't really do makeup for anyone else. I do it for myself. It's something that I do sometimes when I'm stressed, like it is like me time. It is the time I spend with myself. And like, because I also like to do art, and it's like another form of that. It's just on my face and something I can take off every day and put back on every day. So
it can be new every day. It could be the same or it can be different. So
yeah, and sometimes you just want to try something new. Like I like to go on Pinterest, look at makeup looks, and then save them all. And then, when I just feel bored or I feel like a little bit down, I just kind of do that.
Right. No, I have noticed that for myself, that especially as I've been in overwhelm a lot over the last 12 months, and I'm like, okay, I don't feel great. So guess what we're doing? Today it's a full face. Even if I'm just putting on a t-shirt and jeans, or I'm putting on my swimsuit, I'm going to go to the beach after this, or we'll work out or do some projects around the house. Like, that makeup makes me feel like I'm ready to face anything.
Yeah, literally. Sometimes it just makes me feel more productive because, like, I don't feel like lying down in my bed when I'm wearing a bunch of makeup.
What did Charlie call it the other day? You're not bed rotting.
So. No, I'm not bed rotting. I'm not like ready to like fall asleep at any time because I never fall asleep in makeup.
Right, absolutely.
Unless it's like a nap or something. But
that's good. That's good. So
it prevents me from falling asleep.
Amazing. Well, is there anything else you want to share with us? Do you want to tell us your business website or who you're looking for, or how people can get in touch with you? And are you taking clients that are not in Hawaii?
I can ship my machines. The clients do have to pay for shipping though.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to work with me and you don't live here, you can. Like we'll have virtual meetings and then I will give you instructions on how to use the machine. You know, if you want to do that. But if you are in Hawaii and you want to work with me, I am a mobile trainer, so I will come to you to cut out one step from the process.
She comes all the way to Waianae.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes. And you can find me at Brain Balance on Instagram or Facebook, and also, Brain Balance Hawaii on Instagram or Facebook, and then my website is brainbalancehawaii.com.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And everybody out here, make sure to show Kelsey some love. Look up her website. I'm going to make sure that it is down here when this is live streaming. So good night. Mahalos. We love you. Bye for now.
Thank you, guys.